Hi everybody, it's Julie, and today I'm going to show you guys a invitation that I'm making to my niece's Sweet 16 party. Um, she asked me if I would make the invitations, and of course I said yes. And this is something that I do periodically for my family, and I was just going to show you guys, kind of what I did. So I'll show you the finished project, or the finished product. Now I have to make 125 of these, so it's going to take me a little bit of time. That's why I chose a really simple design, because I wanted something that I knew I was going to be able to whip out within, maybe just a few days. So basically what I've done is I've bought these zebra cards that come from Hobby Lobby, and these were $9.99. I used my coupon on them so that they were 40% off, and you get 50 in a box. Now, my only problem was that they only had one box, and so my sister is going to go tonight, and hopefully they will have restocked and have gotten another 2 boxes so I can finish these. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do something a little bit different with the next 75, because I don't have any zebra cardstock. I have pattern paper, but not cardstock to make the bases with. So we'll see what happens. I might just have to use like a card front with the zebra paper on a white base. So we'll see if that has to happen or not. And what I've done here is I've just used my silhouette, and I have printed out you can use Word on this too. You don't need to have a silhouette to do this. I used a silhouette because I wasn't for sure if I was going to cut it with my silhouette or not. But I've got some pink cardstock, and I typed the word sweet out in a font that I liked. And I needed to space them kind of strangely, because I used this punch, this Jenny Bolin punch, to cut them out. And you would think that it would be easy to do that, but really it's not, because this punch is kind of strangely shaped when you're trying to cut out letters with it. So that took a little bit to get the design right, and I was only on one page. I was only able to get 9 words. So you do the math. I'll have to have a lot of pink cardstock. And then I used the Spellbinders Pennant Banner die to make the bottom portion, and that looks like this. And it comes with the actual banner dies, the triangle ones. But I liked this, and I thought it was really cute. And what I did was I cut them out, and I cut out a 1 and a 6 with my silhouette, and then I just adhered the 1 and the 6 onto the die, and then I put that on pop dots. And then I found these flowers that I got at Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago, the ones that were in, I think there's like 250 or so in here. And what I did was I colored them pink, and I'll show you what I did to do that. And then I put a brad in the middle and called it done. And then on the inside, I have stamped the You're Invited, and then edged around it in the black and used a border punch on the bottom. And then we've also got to include a few other things in here, because for her Sweet 16, she's going to have like a court. So she's got to be able to notify the people who she wants in her court. So we're going to do a little bit different, and we're going to be sliding some things in behind here, and they'll be pulling them out to see if they're going to be a member of the court. Also, the directions to the party place will be behind there as well. So that's the card, and then I'll go through real quickly on how I made it. So you're going to need 1 card back, or 1 card base. So I've got the card base here. And then you're going to need, okay, so you need to cut out the word sweet with your pennant banner punch, okay? If you have a circle punch, that'll work just as well. And you kind of have to position the letters so that you can get the whole banner on there. And that is a little more difficult than it appears. That's why I had to do all the work on the to get the spacing. Ooh, crap. The spacing correct. Otherwise, I couldn't fit enough letters on there. And as it was, like I said, I could only get 9. There we go. All right, so now I have my letters, and it just says sweet, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of circle them around the top. And for this, I use glue stick. Normally, I don't ever use glue stick, but on invitations, I always use glue stick. I just feel like it's quicker for me. It gives you a little bit of leeway with your time, so that once you get them on here, you can kind of position them how you want. So I just kind of slap them on right now. You see, I'm just kind of rubbing the glue stick to the back. I'm not even putting really that much on there. And so I'm just putting the glue on there, and then I'm just slapping them down here. And then once I get them all down, I'm going to rearrange them. And you have that option with the glue stick where you don't have that with a hot glue gun or with tape. So that's why I use glue sticks. So now I'm just going to kind of move them around until I get them how I like them. And you have about a minute, I would say, before it starts to really get a little bit harder to move around. Okay, so now I've got my suite on there. Now I need to take my 16 with my banner, okay? And I'm going to use some pop dots for that. And these are dimensionals from Stampin' Up. And that's just what I had on hand. That's why I'm using it, not for any other reason. And I'm using 2 of them. And I never use these. They're always like hidden in a drawer or something. So I found them last night when I started making these. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just use them up because it'll take all of them to complete this project. So then I'm going to just kind of eyeball where I want that. And I know I'm going to have the flower here. So I want the 16 to come out a little bit further. Now for the flower, what I've done is, I know it looks kind of red in the video, but it's not. It's like a hot pink. Actually, it's called magenta. And this stuff was stuff that I had last night, but it had dried up. So I just rehydrated it with alcohol and it comes right back. So you can leave this, if you know that you're not going to be able to finish it, you can just leave it. It'll dry out. You put a little bit more alcohol in there and boom, it's right back to what you need. What I did was I used some drops of this Color Box ink, okay, and this is in magenta, and I got that from Blitzy. And then I just put in some of the LA colors in the Snow White, okay, so it gets that glimmer that I usually use. And then I just topped it off with some alcohol. And just like you're making a glimmer mist, except you're going to paint this on. And I find that it's much, much quicker just to paint it on and dry them off or let them dry off to the side. I did a whole bunch of them. Oh, I just spilled some of this. I did a whole bunch of them yesterday, and I ended up, I think I did like 70 of these flowers, and I ended up with 35 little actual petals that I was going to use. And because I used 2 at a time, and I just used a brad in the center, okay? And it comes out looking like that when you're done after it's all dry. And I just hot glue them right onto the card front. And okay, so now the card front is done. Okay, now we need to go ahead and do the inside. And I have used on this one, and I'm not going to I'm not going to do another one for you because I can just tell you because I don't have any of these stamped right now. But I just used a stamp that I had picked up from Hobby Lobby a long time ago, and I use it for most of my invitations. It's just, it's called You're Invited, I think. It's called Invitation, actually, and it's by Stampendous. And it just has that information on it. And I stamped it in chalk ink in the charcoal color, and then I used the same charcoal color to go around the outside, and then I used this Martha Stewart border punch on the bottom, and I created this. So this is what she's going to use for her. Oh no, I got a little bit of pink on the front. Oh well, that'll be all right. This is what she's going to use for her invitations to her Sweet 16 party. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.